sir. I tried.
It's done now.
Yes,
You
sir.
did. No, you did good.
Well, thank you
Don't
very
forget your water too.
much. Yes, sir.
You did a good job, sir.
You did a very good job. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir. Thanks, sir.
Come on in. Do you know
Hey,
this guy
Mr.
right
Williams, how are
Hey.
you? Yes, we know each other. Good to see you.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. You brought your Tar Heel hat.
Yeah, I guess.
You're gonna make all those.
Make somebody mad.
Make all those.
here? State fans ain't gonna vote for you.
That's kind of what I was gonna. Yeah, my wife's a graduate of UNC, but yeah, you're gonna make the Duke and the Pirates and the.
Pull forward just a
Yeah,
little
come on this way.
bit,
I love it.
and we're gonna get that pointed sort of that way a little bit. All right, well, y'all just have a little fireside chat. How about that?
I think so. I think so.
I think
Unopposed,
you do.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
I've
right.
called you Mr. Williams for the years. I know you go by JD. Do you prefer either one or?
I don't matter.
I didn't think it did, but I thought I'd
As long
ask.
as you call me.
30 seconds.
Call them when it's time to eat.
That's right. That's right.
30 seconds, John.
Good to see you again.
And I guess the final sign off is on there.
Yeah.
When it talks about tomorrow's schedule, it'll say starting again at 12:30.
Okay.
We're starting at 12:45 because
Okay.
Robert Reeves is unable to do that first interview, so we're just going to back up 15 minutes.
So it's gonna be
Say
starting at
12:45.
12:45. Okay. I'll try to remember that.
John, you running for anything this year?
And we welcome you back to our local candidate interviews on WFJA and WWGP Radio, and brought to you by Sandhills Broadcasting and Brick Capital Video. We're here in the WFJA studio. I'm John Ramsperger and your host for today's Sanford City Council candidate interviews. I'll remind our listeners that today through Thursday, each afternoon, these interviews will air live on WWGP and WFJA, as well as stream on the WFJA website. Videos of the candidate interviews will post each evening on the WFJA website. We will now begin our final interview in this segment with Sanford City Council Ward 3 candidate and incumbent, Mr. J.D. Williams. J.D., welcome to WFJA and our candidate interviews.
Well, thank you, sir. Glad to be with you.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to
Thanks
see you
for having
again.
me.
Thank you for your time today. So I don't know many people that don't know you, but our first question is tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and why you are seeking re-election to the Sanford City Council.
Well, I was born and raised here in Sanford.
Huh?
I'm a WB Worker School graduate.
Yep.
We got annexed in my neighborhood in 1997,
Mhm.
and I ran for office during that time, and messed around and got lucky and got elected. So, I've been there ever since.
Yeah.
I've been here, like I said, all my life. I'm a retired sort of musician. As a matter of fact, back when I was a teenager, I played with the Ends combo, and we did a demo right out here at this same radio station.
Oh,
back
really?
during that time, yeah. So,
Wow.
me and Cliff Greason,
Uh-huh.
Alan Heckle, David Wood. I don't
Yeah.
know if you know any of those guys.
I don't.
You
No.
don't? Okay.
Is there any video of this?
No. I don't even know if video was out during that.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to see it. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the boy name? The guy's name? He works for the community college. He had us out here. He does sound now for our meetings when we at the Civic Center.
Oh, okay.
You know who I'm talking
Oh, is it
about?
David Foster?
No.
David Foster is the one that at the Wicker Center. He's the.
No, this
director.
guy's,
I guess I don't know the sound guy.
Billy Freeman.
Billy Freeman.
Yeah.
John Hockaday offered a lifeline there. So so you had worked with Billy Freeman as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were all teenagers back then.
Yeah.
So and
Awesome.
he was working out here doing something. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Williams, what do you see as your biggest challenges ahead for the City Council during the next term? Because you've seen since 1997 a lot of changes.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
We've been asked. We're partnering with the town of Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Chatham County,
Mm-hmm.
Fuquay Varina, and Holly Springs.
And Moncure,
Moncure. That's
Yeah.
Chatham County.
Chatham County, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
and we're going to have to do some major improvements to our water plant, and that's going to be it's a lot easier this time around with partnering with those entities, but it's a lot of work.
It is.
And that's what I see as our largest challenges, because Chatham County has those Chatham partners. We talking roughly about 60,000 people,
Mhm.
and around 8,000 acres, 80,000 acres of land or whatever. But anyway, it's going to be a major undertaking.
It is.
For us.
We have excess capacity in our water treatment plant, and I agree that we need to expand that. We have so much water, however, within the city of Sanford that we sell it to other communities, as you had just referenced. The neat thing about what's going on with Moncure in Chatham County is that what used to be called the Moncure Megasite, they just landed VinFast, which is a Vietnamese electric car manufacturer, and we are selling Indeed and providing sewer to that. Thank you for your leadership in setting this up as a partnership with the county and the city, because we, myself included, citizens of Sanford, are going to get a return on that investment.
Right.
As I understand, state monies were granted to do the majority of extending the sewer up to Moncure, but that we are receiving revenues back from Moncure, I think, for 20 years. And we're going to get back a lot more than we contributed monetarily for that. So it's a win-win for all parties, because they could not have landed that large employer, 7,500 jobs, without sewer. So
That's true.
City of Sanford said, hey, we got it. How can we work with you? And so that is a fantastic example of partnerships. And I'm thanking you, because you are the only current candidate that we're talking with today. All the others are you're the incumbent, rather.
Mm-hmm.
All the others are candidates that are trying to get on the city council. So thank you for your wisdom on that. This is a similar question. We've had, great success in luring industry and business to our area. And yes, we're talking about Sanford City Council at this time, but it would include County of Lee. What do you see the city council's role in recruiting?
Well, our role is sort of similar to it's similar to the counties, in that we, if you get annexed into the city, then of course you have to pay city taxes.
Sure. Yeah.
So wherever you live in the county, you got to pay county taxes. So the city's role in collecting the county taxes is to give back, some of the tax money to recruit a certain industry. Of course, they have to meet a certain criteria.
They do.
But if they meet all the criteria, then the city will extend an olive leaf and give them part of the tax money back for 5 years. That's what the standard is, even though sometimes we may kind of deviate depending on how large an employer.
Well, and as you're alluding to, it's tied to job creation.
Right.
It's not a freebie handout, so to speak. It
Right.
is the employer has to perform as well
Right.
and meet criteria. And then we, citizens of Sanford, hope to get a return on that investment in a larger tax base.
Right.
A larger pool of money to draw from, I guess. So again, similar questions, JD. In a community like ours, there must be a balance between recruiting industry and new home construction. And we have a lot of new homes, residential homes going up, to include apartments.
Right.
So how do you, as a current city council member, balance between the existing folks that you and I are neighbors to you and I, and the new recruitment, which will bring more housing, and the folks that are antagonistic with the new housing and think we are destroying what is beautiful about Sanford? How do you balance that?
Well, we've got in place what they call a 2020 land use plan, which kind of guides us in as far as you know what residents go in which district. In other words, you know, we've got the R20, which is half-acre land, and if you live in that particular area, then they have you got to meet a certain criteria in order to build in that area. And normally, the first one is that you have to have the land mass about the same land mass as your neighbors,
right,
or the people that you
adjoining
neighborhood. Yeah. Yes,
right.
So that's where we start, and you know, there's always exceptions to the rules. For instance, if you go smaller than an R20, sometimes if you put in curb, gut, and sidewalks, then sometimes the governing bodies will allow you to build a little smaller on a smaller lot size because you're using it up for.
Well, sure. The developer has to put even more infrastructure in, a la curb, gutters, and sidewalks, which our neighbors to the north in the Wake County and parts of Pittsburgh and all already have. But it costs more money to do that, which means the cost per lot is higher. But we're trying to maintain a quality of product that the consumer will be happy with, and the existing Sanford citizens will also like.
Right.
It's a balancing act, I think.
Yeah, it is.
So the safety of our citizens is obviously an important role for our city, but certainly with the city police department. So how important for it is it for you, rather, as a council member, to help create good public relations between the Sanford Police Department and the citizens of Sanford?
What I think is very important, and we've got one driving force behind that is National Night Out.
Yeah.
Which allows the police to get out, and it allows the residents to meet the officer that mostly patrols their neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important to have that relationship, because when there's a crime or something, then sometimes, you know, you're not afraid to approach the police officer because you met him at National Night Out or something.
I get it. Yeah, and indeed, the folks that organized National Night Out have won several awards locally. National awards for the Sanford National Night Out, and I'm very proud of that.
Right.
Because I agree, it's this. It's getting to know one another as opposed to drawing the line in the sand and being on opposite ends of that.
Right.
And shaking your finger at each other and all that stuff. Yeah.
Right. Well, and then too, when we first started the National Night Out, I was impressed with not only the police but the fire department also, because they went around and basically put in fire alarms for people that
for free.
For free. Yeah. People that didn't have them. I mean, that was impressive.
Well, it is, and we did that just this past Saturday. I'd helped organize the Sanford Block Party.
Oh, okay.
And that was around East Sanford Baptist Church. Once again, as they do every year, Sanford Fire Department came out, and it's a nice gesture. It can't be a terrific expense necessarily, but the benefit on that is if you haven't changed that battery, and or if your smoke alarm is 20 plus years old and it ain't working, I hate to sound so dramatic, you might save a life.
Yeah.
And so that's a fantastic outreach, I think.
It is.
So, JD, you were part of the beautification projects that have been happening in both downtown Jonesboro and downtown Sanford with the bond referendum of 2013. We spoke with candidates earlier, and I believe that was a fantastic success. I have seen rental rates increase and building sales increase in both of those communities. I've seen vacancies go down and occupancy go up. Using that as an example, what future projects do you see ahead for Sanford?
Well, my interest mostly is is filling. And I was talking with some people here the other day. Filling those jobs that are
Mhm.
coming.
Oh, sure,
that
yeah.
are on the way. And
The skilled jobs.
right.
Yeah.
And from what I'm being told, our community college is working with
Mhm.
neighboring community colleges, uh, to recruit the people
Mhm.
and get them educated so they can fill some
Mhm.
of those jobs. And that's impressive. And I'm impressed with that. In that, not only working with the city of Sanford, working with those communities that we talked about at the beginning of the program, but the community college working with them
Absolutely.
as well. That's impressive to me.
I couldn't agree more.
Right.
Dr. Lisa Chapman is the president of Central Carolina Community College. And the neat thing about CCCC is it's a 3-campus community college.
Right.
So we've obviously it's based primarily in Lee County, but it also includes Chatham and Harnett counties.
Mhm.
She works hand in hand with the Economic Development Council, as well as Chamber of Commerce, as well as the county manager, Dr. John Crumpton, to recruit the industry that's coming. And then, as a little carrot, if I can use that analogy, she says, and we'll train your future employees.
Right.
And don't you know, Dr. Andy Bryan with the Lee County Schools, the superintendent, is also trying to get in on it and say, well, then we want to provide that pipeline for these kids to have gainful employment, to get a living wage.
Right.
I think it's a fantastic partnership. And it sounds like I'm giving a rah-rah speech. I'm actually not. This is actually working, as evidenced by the growth in the Central Carolina Enterprise Park off of Colin Road in Deep River.
Mm.
We are gaining positive growth with new employers, and the average wage, which I'm sure you're familiar with, is very high
Right.
for the jobs that are coming in.
Mm.
Selfishly, I'm going to join you in hoping that it is Sanford residents that are filling those jobs.
Right.
Yeah, as opposed to from out of state, out of county, and that kind of a thing.
Right. Well, and then I look back, years ago, kids would graduate high school,
Mhm.
and they would move to another state.
Yeah, they get out.
Because of the jobs.
Yeah.
Now we're getting the jobs.
I know.
So we can keep them here now. Hopefully.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Thank you for your comments. And what a lot of folks know is I've got a senior in high school and I've got one in college right now. I've got 2 boys.
Oh, okay.
And your words are very prophetic. And what I'm getting at is I don't know around the dinner table if the kids want to listen to Daddy talk about the growth and opportunities in Sanford and Lee County.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know Dad does a lot of stuff with Chamber of Commerce and candidate interviews and all that stuff. Well, it's obviously genuine, and I'm obviously telling them the truth.
Right.
But you're right. The average 18-year-old says, I can't wait to get out of Sanford and go see the world.
Hmm.
Well, that's fine, but you can come back too and get gainful employment.
That's right. That's right. And wherever you go, you're not going to do much better than right here at home.
I agree. I totally agree.
Right.
So one final question I've asked most of the candidates is, in my estimation, partisanship is detrimental to what is happening on our national political level. So on the national level, it kind of trickles down to the state and then down to the county, and we're here talking about Sanford City Council. How do you feel about partisanship? And do you engage when you are making decisions on the city council in what your party prefers you to do and say, or do you make decisions based on your own convictions?
I make my decisions based on my own convictions. What I think is best for the citizens that I represent,
Yeah.
and I feel like I represent all the citizens.
Not just Ward 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not just Ward 3, right? And
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter what political affiliation they're in. I feel like anything that's going to move the city forward,
Mhm.
I'm for.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, I don't care what party you're in, you're not going to agree with everything.
No.
Right.
Even in the same party, you're not going to agree with everything.
So I hope I answered your question.
You did.
Okay.
You did. Well, JD, we thank you for your time today
You are.
with today's interview.
Yes, sir.
On behalf of the station, we wish you the best of luck in the upcoming election. I'm smiling because you're running unopposed as Democrat for Ward 3, which means I don't have to wish you luck. I think you're doing well,
Well,
unless they get a lot of write-in ballots.
there you go. It's always a possibility.
And you've reminded our listeners that you've been on the city council since 1997.
Right.
Thank you for your dedication and your time.
Thank you.
Your time is your most valuable asset, and you've given a lot to the people of Sanford. So thank you. Any final comments you want before we wrap up this interview?
Well, no, I just, for all the people that today, I understand, was the first day of early voting.
It starts on Thursday.
It's Thursday?
Starts on Thursday. Yep,
Oh.
2 more days and early voting starts.
Okay.
Yep.
Somebody told me wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But anyway,
Well, if they went, they weren't going to be able to vote.
I want you to get out there and vote, and
Yeah.
Regardless of whether a person is opposed or unopposed, vote for him anyway.
That's right.
And
Show
I'm
support.
one of those people. So,
Very good.
Yeah, we want you to vote. Yes, indeed.
Well, I join Sandhills Broadcasting and Brick Capital Video in thanking J.D. Williams for talking with us today. This completes the interviews for day 1 of the WFJA WWGP local candidate interviews.